Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Amasid and today I wanted to walk you all through my Spark Inquisitor. Now this was an amazing League Starter build, one of the best I've ever played for sure in terms of League Start quality. Smooth mapper, really strong boss fight. I did all the major bosses on it except for Uber Pinnacle bosses. It was really fun. So I wanted to share it with you guys just so you have an idea of what I've been playing and sort of get a feel for the gear, the setup, etc. And maybe this is something you want to try for a second character or something like that. Now I will say I did use Anime Princess's guide, and I'll link that in the description below so you can take a look there. That's what I used to sort of get going, but then I took it another direction. I sort of went my own way, built it a little differently, and took it from there. This character was, again, smooth in mapping, smooth in bossing. It was an all-around really strong character. It has a lot of room to continue to grow, but I decided I wanted to try something new for my next character sooner than later. So as opposed to sort of expanding even further upon it, I'm going to go another direction. But really fun. Can't recommend it enough. Anyway, let's hop into the gear now. Alrighty, looking at my gear. Now, I did just want to know, I went with sort of a staff variant. This is definitely more glass cannony and less tanky than like a one-hander or shield, obviously. But especially early on when I was gearing, the staff was just a lot of cheap damage and it's something I wanted to go for. And I left it. I think if I were to continue going on this character, I would switch back to a one-hander and shield. But for now, this is sort of the direction I went with it, and it worked out fine with this character for sure. So the staff is really nice. My helmet, nothing special here. The only thing is just a lot of life. I needed a little bit of strength there as well as the trigger socketed spells when you focus. Now I have Tornado, Sniper's Mark, Frost Shield, and Sigil of Power all socketed in here. So when I focus, you see when I hit Q here, it casts all of them. Really nice. That's more quality of life, right? Because you can't cast 4 things at once, and all these things are very helpful for your damage. The Sniper's Mark didn't cast here because I didn't have a target, but yeah, really nice. I've also got the enchant Spark fires 3 additional projectiles. Really great as well. Amulet, I picked this up for 1.5 divines. I mean, it's obvious. I don't know if this is a thing someone put into the reflector or something they just got randomly lucky, but it's a ton of resistances, a ton of life, and 35% cast speed. Really nice. I've got that counterweight anointment just because that's, again, a lot of damage when using a staff crit chance and crit multi. But yeah, this was a really nice amulet. I think this was way underpriced, to be honest, but yeah. This ring, basically just, again, more cast speed, but I also need a little bit of res, and I needed that non-channeling because even at 173 mana, you notice if I hit Q, I lose most of my mana here. Getting that helps a lot, being able to cast as well, Spark, without losing mana with a little bit of clarity in there as well. That helps. My chest piece, I picked up for 5 divines in maybe day 4, day 5 of the league. And it's pretty nice. It's got that all Vol skill gems, and I do have a Vol Spark in here, so that's helpful. Get an extra +1 skill gems there, plus the active skill gems, plus almost max rolled T1 spell crit. So that's really nice. This is I thought another good deal on a chest piece, but something I was quite happy to snag. Looking at the other ring here, it's called the Brotherhood, relatively standard for this build, not too much to say. Boots, relatively standard as well. We've got, T1 life, lightning res, and 35 move speed with some dexterity. Dexterity is really tight on this build, so getting that was nice. This is just sort of a res mule, so nothing too crazy there. And gloves are good. I actually pulled these from a ritual. Their damage with hits against shield enemies is quite nice because, again, we have that conversion where we are getting cold damage, which is chilling. I will note my flasks are pretty bad. I really should probably have replaced some of these with, like, a bottled faith, something like that. But I don't know, I was lazy with them, and so that's just the reality. These are nothing crazy. I think at their core they're good. The onslaught's good, the granite, diamond less useful because I'm pretty close to crit cap, but quicksilver and, well, relatively standard, right? Nothing too crazy. Now looking at my tree here, the sort of important things to note here, because I am staff, I grabbed these notes here. Serpent Stance, which is nice. The 30% defense while wielding a staff is quite good. I also, to basically fit in more auras, so now auras I'm using, I've got Determination, Zealotry, Defiance Banner, Herald of Ice, and Clarity. The Clarity is just nice for a little bit of convenience with mana. You can get away without it, but basically what I did was I crafted 2 of these Righteous Path small clusters, which gives 50% increased mana reservation efficiency of Zealotry and 10% consecrated ground effect, which is obviously really nice as an Inquisitor. So I'm getting a lot of mana reservation efficiency, allowed me to squeeze in, and 173 mana, it feels like a lot. I probably could get away with less, But especially if I took, one of these out, it would maybe be easier, because then I wouldn't have to worry about hitting Q and basically almost going But I figured, let's leave it, and this seemed like a good solution at the time, so I crafted these. My large is just basically 3 almost random notables. The Prismatic Heart, where is that, is nice. Thunderstruck is actually kind of nice quality of life. Surprisingly, the knockback is actually really helpful. You're critting all the time. My crit chance is I think close to 90%. We'll pull up the POB in a second. So I'm knocking back enemies constantly. That's really nice for survivability, because obviously I'm not super tanky on this character. I'm definitely not tanky. So getting that knockback on a lot of enemies actually just saves my life a lot of the time. And widespread destruction is just kind of a standard node. The rest is pretty straightforward here. Nothing too crazy. A lot of my jewels are just kind of res mules because of this staff. I lose so much res that I really need a lot of resistance to cap. So a lot of these are just res mules for essentially what I'm working with. Let's pull up the POB now. So you can see here, all in, my damage a little under 10 million. And I would say that's like 10 million on a bad day, because realistically, if I have a situation where the boss, if I can get the Sigil of Power stacks, or I can get the Frost Shield stacks, it goes up quite a bit, but I'm zeroing that out for the sake of this. Now notice I'm on Guardian Pinnacle boss here as opposed to Uber Pinnacle, which is a lot less. I also don't have any of my flasks selected, but you can see here I'm at 87% crit, which is really, really quite high. No charges there. We are chilling. Shock effect, the chill effect could be even higher. Shock effect, this is what I was checking when I was seeing bosses. I was usually in like the 25 to 35 range, so I figure 30 is a good number. Unnerve I have on my gloves, so that's really nice, a little bit of extra damage. And enemy consecrated ground, obviously if I'm an Inquisitor, if I just have to stand a little closer, and I drop consecrated ground automatically. So that's quite nice. Anyway, this is a super fun character. I hope you guys maybe want to play this. I loved it. I had a great time with this character. I might come back to it, we'll see, but I think I'm going to try a second character for now and take it from there. But anyway, I hope you guys like this one, and I will catch you in the next one.